Okay, I hit go live. It's just turning. Just seeing if we've gone live. You live on your platform? This is the delay with our StreamYard. So it's showing that we are live. Are we live?
We are. There is a little delay though.
Okay, we are live. Okay, perfect. We've got notifications.
I can hear a little bit of
welcome everyone.
I can hear a little bit of feedback.
Background noise.
Okay, I think that's better now. Yeah.
Okay. Is it still there?
We're live.
Is it better now? Okay.
Yes,
perfect.
we've conquered the technology.
I'm so excited.
We've conquered the tech.
I'm telling you, the StreamYard is a wonderful platform, especially when you want to stream on multiple different platforms and across continents. But there is some technicalities that we need to learn as we go. So I'm glad that we managed to get through that. And I just want to welcome everyone to our very first of many live feeds on Behind the Title. So my name is Nancy Deneau, and I am the founder of Beyond Limits. And Beyond Limits came to because as someone who has gone through so much adversity, I decided that I was going to make the decision to stop allowing the different diversities and the different issues and the different health problems and the different bumps in the road stop me from overcoming what I need to become, essentially. So I am becoming something beyond what these adversities or what these bumps in the roads have become. That's just a little bit of kind of where I'm at. And Alicia and I connected through Instagram, I guess a while back now. And she is from the UK, the beautiful Alicia May, and she is the founder of House of Expansion. And she's from the UK. So welcome. Yes. I know it's afternoon for you. So Alicia, maybe you can just speak over and welcome and introduce yourself.
Absolutely. And yes, Nancy, it's been a pleasure getting to know you these past few weeks. Honestly, it's been such a pleasure. Yes, my name is Alicia, all the way in, it's a bit more cooler now, all the way from the UK. I am the founder of House of Expansion. And me and Nancy have been getting to know each other for a couple of weeks. And we've really been, what started off as a one-off conversation has now blossomed into this idea because we've connected so much on many, many different topics, expansion of ourselves, overcoming, and we've developed this need to bring more conversations to other people online, other women, other people who have gone through things and who are wanting inspiration and light. So yeah, I'm the founder of House of Expansion. So that came about from me really having a really big shift in my life. I've gone through many, many things, as people do, from motherhood to, financial difficulties. And I've really made leaps and bounds in my life. And I owe that down to me working on myself internally, working on my mindset, learning new skills, learning more about myself and developing self-inquiry and really shifting how I see the world and how I see myself and how I see my self-worth. So I want to help other women, other people, leaders, ambitious people really do the same thing. So that's how the House of Expansion has come about. I do have other businesses as well. I'm in the property space as well. So I'm very much mindset, expansion, business, and really becoming the best version of yourself. So me and Nancy are here today to kind of share our wisdom, share our lessons, and have a beautiful conversation.
And I love that you touch on that, because that's not a part of my life that I usually share, but we connected because we have gone through a lot. You know, I was a single mom and, you know, divorcee, and now a new blended beautiful family of almost 21 years, and financial difficulties as well. And, you know, life does have things going on, but I'm also in property management. So there's just been a lot of wonderful connections. And, you know, Alicia works a lot on the mindfulness, and I'm all about mindfulness, but also, you know, you need to take the things that happen to you in life and let it fuel you to where you need to go. Hence why we decided on our title is behind the title of mom, behind the title of wife, behind the title of employee, employer, entrepreneur, Nana, whatever that might look like. We're not just a title, we're much more than that. So I'm really powerful. It's really powerful to really just hone into what does that mean for us as individual women, especially in the workplace, in the home, because a lot does weigh on us in so many ways. And that's something that Alicia and I have been talking a lot about, and it's just, it really touches us. And regardless of what we're going through in life now, a lot of the decisions that we make in life also factor in how we were conditioned growing up, how we were conditioned in decisions that we made raising our families, and so on and so forth. So here we are coming to you and sharing a little bit of our wisdom and our knowledge in some of the things that we've kind of gone through in our journeys.
Yes, the power of decision. We was talking, wasn't we, last week, and we was kind of coming up, because we talk for a long time, and because we really resonate and align on a lot of things. And we were talking about decision, and we were just going on about decision making and how, you know, certain decisions come up in our lives and what is around the idea of decision. And so, yeah, that's the topic that we want to discuss, the power of decision. And there's so much weight in that, the power of decision. And for me, you know, the decision to show up for myself was a really, really big one. It's enabled me to really move mountains in my own life and really change the trajectory of my life. And I think sometimes when it comes to decision, it's like we're giving ourselves permission to honor ourselves. It's giving ourselves permission to honor our decisions, our visions, our goals, our boundaries, you know. And I think a lot of people don't allow themselves to give themselves permission because they're worried about what other people may say. They worry about the opinions of people outside of themselves. And I think decision really is important when it comes to vision and goals and what you want to do with your life. So with regards to you, what does it mean to you?
Decision is owning your power. And I know I'm reversing the wording there, but you know, as I go through life, you know, being a single mom, I thought that was a very difficult moment in my life. And then going through many different roles within my career, I thought those were difficult decisions within my life. But I will say that the biggest decision was this past decision when my health became affected in 2.5 years ago. And I went through a really, really, really dark place. You know, when you've been working all your life and you carry these titles, and I always want to make my children and my family proud. As my daughter always says, she wants to make me proud. But and this goes back to that title of mom, entrepreneur, back to the title of also being a mentor for your family and your children. And I went to a really dark place, and being told and forced that I had to stop working when I've been working since I was 14. And I've always been driven and I've always been passionate, and, you know, and I'm like, I'm okay, but I really wasn't okay. And it took me a year to really recognize that I wasn't okay. But I had to make the decision to make things change. I had to decide to take ownership of where I was in my health, accept that I was not okay, to start working towards becoming okay again. So the power of taking matters into my own hands and giving myself grace and giving myself the permission to go through the grieving that I went through, because I grieved not being able to work. I absolutely love my corporate job, and my goal is to one day be able to return to that place where I love. But I had to make the decision to be okay that I grieved, and now I'm going to get through the grieving part. And what is it that I'm going to do? And so it's one thing to follow the medical field, and there's a place for your medical team, and I love my medical team. But I also had to make decisions outside of what was presented to me in the world of medicine to get myself better. And taking more of a naturopathic way, a holistic way. It's not a one size fits all. So for me, power of decision is really taking control of what's happening in your life and building the vision of where you want to go. And I also had to detach myself from the timeline, because rushing my body to do something that it wasn't prepared to do was only backfiring, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Now for you, Alicia, what does the power of decision represent? Because I know you're really into mindfulness as well. And what is the driving factor for you?
I think the driving factor is making a decision. And I don't think a lot of people really do make a decision. They have ideas of what they want. They have ideas of where they would like to be, how they would like their life to go. They have these big goals and dreams, but there isn't an actual concrete decision made. It's more in the fantasy, the dream. And I think until you make an actual decision and say, this is what I want, it lives in that space. And I think for me, the power of decision is saying, okay, this is what I want. This is who I want to be. This is what I want my life to look like. And I'm very much into goals and vision. So when I'm working with someone, we start off by building your vision. What do you want? And then making a decision to say, okay, this is what I want. And actually claiming it and owning it and sitting it. And what do I say? Standing on business, like standing 10 toes in your decision, which means you're looking forward, you're looking at your goal, your vision, you're looking ahead at the path ahead, but you're also deciding, okay, what has been has now gone. You bring the lessons, you learn from the lessons, but what has been and who I was is now in the past, and who I'm going to be is this vision I've got in front of me. And it's that power of decision. It's standing 10 toes in. And for me, I've been in situations where I have these dreams, these goals, these visions. I want to go to this country, or, I'm going to really 10x my business, or I'm going to start another business. This is me in the past. And I'd have these beautiful ideas where I wouldn't actually achieve it. I wouldn't actually get there because there were more of ideas and I hadn't made a decision. So by making a decision and really owning it and claiming it is when you really make shifts in your life. And that's and it's simple, really. It's saying, okay, this is what I want, writing it down and honoring yourself, giving yourself permission to say, this is what I want. And I think a lot of people have these dreams, and they're a lot bigger than where they are now. They're a lot more expansive. And it's almost like when you're sharing them with other people, you're asking for permission to own those goals, those visions. Do you know what I mean? And I think when you do that, you haven't made a decision. You ask for other people's opinions. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? That is not making a decision. And it's quite scary.
There's a fear factor, definitely a fear factor. And I was just going to touch on that is making a decision. There's a lot of fear behind that. What if I don't make the right decision? But when you make it, and I'm of the belief that when you make a decision, it's the right decision for the moment that you are in. And I don't live with regrets. And I know we're going to have a segment on that. But, regrets, if you don't make a decision and go down a path, you're never going to know what you're going to learn along that path. And so owning the decision that you need to make, and then just go with it. Trust your gut, trust your heart. And if the outcome is not where you want it to be, then that's where you're at a roadblock and you make another decision. But it's the decisions to continually move forward, to not stay stagnant, to not worry about what other people are thinking or what they're going to say, because it's your goal, it's your mission, it's your journey. And that's something that I think we see a lot of fear in women, because they're not sure. It is scary. It is scary, but it's scarier to stay stagnant.
Yeah, but I don't think sometimes people don't really recognize the cost of their future self by not making the decision, because where you are is comfortable. It's because it's what you know, and you know what to expect. You know the path forward. But when you don't know where you know how it's going to plan out, when you don't know all of the steps, it's like, oh, I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know how I'm going to do this. So that's where decision is like super important, because you're allowing faith to come into play.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? You're allowing you're following faith, you're following your intuition, and you really have to have faith that you're going to reach, you know, that destination in front of you. And it's scary. That it's scary, because a lot of people have the same life, the same job, they're in the same environment, they have the same friends year after year after year, the same income, because they're not giving themselves permission to make a decision on what they actually want, what they really want. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
And in order to grow, we need to make decisions. And sometimes we need to make very uncomfortable decisions in order to grow.
Yes.
Right. So yeah. I challenge each and every one of you that are viewing. And I mean, if this resonated with anyone, drop a 1 in the comments. Because this is something that, as Alicia and I have been talking, and I talk to so many women through my organization, and they are stagnant, and they're not sure what path to take, and they're not sure how to make a decision. And I know, Alicia, you work with many women in the same situation. And, you know, vision boards. What is it that you want in life? And dream big. Dream big. Because everybody is deserving.
How do you make decisions?
The old me, and I'm going to be very transparent, I overthought every single decision I made. How will it affect me? How will it affect my family? How would it affect my kids? How would it affect my parents? How would it affect my job? Every decision I made, it would take me a really long time to make a decision. But then I realized that I wasn't making the decisions based on what I wanted. I was making the decision based on what was best for everyone else.
Yeah.
Now, yes, I do factor a lot of that, because we don't want to impact our family in any negative way, but I follow my heart, and I follow my gut, and I follow my dreams. And I am of the mindset right now that I can't go backwards. I can only go forward. And life, we only have one life. And just to kind of go for it. And if it's something that brings you joy, then try it.
Yes,
if it's something that warms your heart, because this doesn't work as great for me right now. So that's a positive in a way, because I was such an overthinker, and to the point where I think it actually caused me to be sick in a way, because it was just, my gut never felt right. I never felt like the decisions I was making were right, because I was overthinking everything. Where now I just follow my heart, I follow my gut. And wherever that leads me, I know I'm on the right path.
Oh, I love that.
How about you? So that was a loaded question. So I think you should be answering that question too.
I would say for myself, I would probably mirror what you said. A lot of my decisions were based on fear. Fear of spending money, losing money, not having enough money. It was all to do with financial. And then it would be, okay, what are people going to think? What are people going to say? oh, I'm going to be online. Really? What are people going to say? They're going to laugh at me. And then it's, okay, the wider world, that I'm going to be visible, so it's a lot of external factors came into my decision making. So it would mirror what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've overcome a lot of those things, and I realize it's just a story that's in my head.
Yes.
And if I've made a decision, I make a decision from the person that I want to be. So I make it in alignment with my goals and my vision, and try and act from that place. If I've made a decision, that's what we're doing. Like today, we are not tech girlies out here. We're not tech girlies. But we pulled it off. We're here. We're live.
We are.
We said, oh my goodness, we can't log in and all this kind of stuff. Kids are screaming. No, we've made a decision. So that's how I like to do things in my life, especially when it comes to my goals. I've made a decision. I'm going to show up.
Yes.
And I'm going to do it from a place of my higher self. Because if I've been given a dream, if I've been given a new goal, an area of an expansion, that's been given to me for a reason. It's come into my awareness for a reason. So it's up to me to make sure that I get on board with that and follow it. So yeah, make decisions from your higher self, from the person that you want to be. So that's what I would advise anyone to do.
I love that. I love that. So if you loved anything that we talked about today, stay tuned. We are going to be coming to you every Tuesday, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 UK time. I don't know what your acronyms are for that. But we are going to come to you every single Tuesday, and we have a series of different topics that we're going to talk about within behind the title. Because we feel that this is something that needs to be brought to our communities, to the people that not only are we serving immediately, but we could be touching someone else's lives. And our stories are not exactly perfect. Some are messy, but it's, it's the messy stories that make it relatable to others. So we're so happy to be collaborating here. Alicia, thank you so much. I am so forever grateful that our paths have crossed, and I am really looking forward to what we will be creating together.
Absolutely. No, it's like for both of us, it's an area of expansion. And to me, expansion is everything, so it's about growing and connecting and networking and sharing and loving on others and loving on ourselves. And this is a beautiful thing that we've done. And it's really lit me up, and it's giving me goosebumps. It's made me feel all warm and fuzzy. So this is definitely something we should continue with. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. So yes, can't wait to do the next one.
I love that. All right. Till next time, everyone. Bye for now.
Oh, okay. Bye.